America doesn't really have a debt problem. It has a credibility problem, because debt only becomes dangerous when people stop believing the borrower can pay it back. And for decades, the world believed one thing without question, that the United States would always honor its promises, always pay its bills, and always protect the value of its money. But today, that belief is starting to crack. Quietly, slowly, and dangerously. But here's the truth most people miss. America has carried high debt before. The difference now is trust. In the past, people believed debt was temporary. Spending was controlled. Leaders had a plan. Today, spending feels endless. Deficits feel permanent, and no one can clearly explain how it all gets paid back. Think about it this way. If a friend borrows money once, you don't panic. If they borrow again and again, you get uncomfortable. But if they keep borrowing with no plan to repay, you stop trusting them. That is exactly how global investors are starting to look at the US government. For years, the dollar survived because it was trusted. Countries traded oil in dollars. Banks stored dollars for safety. Investors ran to US bonds during every crisis. But trust is not permanent. It must be protected. And when governments print money endlessly, raise the debt ceiling repeatedly, and argue publicly about paying bills, confidence erodes. This is where inflation enters quietly. Inflation is not just rising prices, it is a signal. It tells the world that money is losing discipline. Debt is being managed by printing instead of planning. And when inflation stays high, people stop saving, stop trusting long-term promises, and start protecting themselves. Credibility doesn't collapse overnight. It leaks away, decision by decision. It controls its own currency. But credibility is not about ability. It is about restraint. Just because you can print money does not mean you should. Smart money understands this. They are not waiting for a collapse. They are watching the signals: rising interest rates, foreign governments reducing their dollar exposure, investors demanding higher returns to lend money. These are not random events. They are credibility warnings. Quiet ones, before loud consequences. This is why the real risk is not default. The real risk is belief. When people believe less in the system, they behave differently. They move money faster, avoid long-term promises, and protect themselves with assets instead of cash. History shows this pattern clearly. Credibility loss always comes before financial stress, never after. Here is the lesson that matters for your life. Do not focus only on headlines about debt. Focus on trust. Trust in money. Trust in leadership. Trust in long-term promises. Because wealth isn't destroyed when systems fail suddenly. It is destroyed when people ignore the slow warnings. The smartest move is not panic. It is awareness. America's biggest challenge today is not how much it owes. It is how believable its promises still are. And in a world built on confidence, credibility is the most valuable currency of all. Those who understand this early do not wait for permission. They position themselves. Because when trust becomes fragile, preparation becomes power. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, consider subscribing for more insights.